Hi guys, Leanna here. This is the mid-June garden tour. We are posting it, or uploading it I should say, a little late, but it was definitely all filmed June 16th. And this is our drone footage from above to show the layout of our garden. I was gonna just do monthly garden tours, but as you're gonna see in a minute, there's so much growth every couple weeks. This is from the end of April, and then the next photo is just 2 weeks ago, May 29th, the end of May. And now 2 weeks later, you can see all the growth. It's incredible. Okay, let's do our mid-June garden tour. And to remind everybody, we're in a forest. In North Idaho. And our garden zone is zone 6B. And we don't have a very long growing season. The garden is growing so fast that it's unrecognizable from just 2 weeks ago. It's insane. Look at those. We'll start where we started last time. These are the beefsteak tomatoes. And I didn't thin them down, and I'll probably be sorry later. But look at this. Look how thick that is. These are the little onions I planted, and it's insane how they've grown. And look at here, these aren't doing that good. These are bell peppers. Oh, look at that pepper. We're growing right there. Some peas that are growing right here. They're doing pretty good. This is our asparagus bed, and it doesn't look like much, but every day we come in here and we get a little bit of asparagus, even if it's a little skinny. Asparagus usually takes about 3 years to get going, where you can start harvesting and actually eat something from the plants. And so this side of the bed is already doing, it's 3 years old. The purple, we're going to be planting some purple asparagus over on that side. And here is, look at this. This is the green grapes. And last time we had some grapes under here. Look at all that. That'll be cool if we get some grapes. And underneath it is the strawberries. They're doing good, but we need to put some straw down underneath them so they're not just laying on the dirt, because when we find them, they're usually chewed up if they're just on the dirt from some bugs. Here's something, see? There's our strawberries. So these were the first raised garden beds we had. Norman built them in 2020, right after we moved in. Over here, Sean and Norman built these a couple months ago. So Norman built these trellises last week for the tomatoes that needed to be stalked. And if you see over there, he built a big one for over there too for the beefsteak ones. And look at this. Just 2 weeks ago, in the last garden tour, I showed you these Amana orange tomatoes. Look at that. Look how much growth. I have a feeling that I'm going to have to plant some of these flowers, these marigolds, somewhere else, because I think they're going to get smothered out. See the marigolds? I planted too many, I think. My basil's doing great. Looks like it's doubled. One of the basil died, one of the basil plants. But this one's turning out real pretty. Look at it, how pretty this one is. Over here, we have the sweetie tomato right here. sweetie tomato. And then these were the yellow pear tomatoes. This one and that one. On this side, we have that mystery tomato plant right here. That was supposed to be the same as these Brandywine red tomatoes. And our rosemary's doing good right here and here. The peas are really doing good. I asked some opinions and I guess it's best not to thin them. So I'm just gonna let them go crazy. Okay, and here we have some more peppers. Those two in the front are banana peppers. The three in the back, these three are Anaheim peppers. Over here in this bed are the 5 Marconi red peppers, which are growing like crazy. And they're really interesting how the stems are kind of dark. I might have to move this one serrano pepper back here because the squash that is in the other side is gone a little crazy. Look at it. Wow. It's huge. It's just 2 weeks in the garden. So it's kind of covering up my serrano pepper. And this is the cantaloupe right here. This is where I moved one of the sweet basils right here, and it's dead. Over here is where we have the 2 watermelon. Right here and right here. I actually, when I planted these, I divided it and as an experiment and got another one out of that right there. But look at this, is all spreading. That one, they're both spreading. These are the pumpkins that are spreading already. I'm probably gonna have to move some of these marigolds. They're so pretty, but they're gonna get completely shaded, I have a feeling. And over here in the last bed, we have our cherry tomatoes, the sun sugar orange cherry tomatoes, and the super sweet 100. And they're going crazy. They're really growing. I thinned these out on the bottom because they were just so thin. So after the raised garden beds, we have this long area that Norman created for us, and I ended up taking those seeds that I started and transferring them out here. There are at least, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I think we have about 14 more pumpkins. And then we have these little ones are the cantaloupe, and these last ones are the watermelon. So hopefully we'll have a lot of watermelon and cantaloupe and pumpkin. As you can see, we work with our weeds. We don't try to pull them all out because they just grow back the next day. We do pull out the ones that are invasive, but we try to find things like this that up until last month I thought was a weed. Turns out this is a very useful plant, medicinal plant called mullein. And I have them throughout the property. Here's another one. So I don't cut these down because I'm gonna harvest them, freeze dry them, and save them. This is the some more bell peppers that I planted near the trees over here on this side of the garden. I ran out of room, so I planted them right here. The trees that we got from Stark Brothers are doing great, except for the pear, which we're gonna take care of tonight. We have to remove all these black leaves, and we're not sure if it's gonna make it. We've been trying neem oil and a little diatomaceous earth on the bottom there, but it's just completely blacked out all the leaves. Not sure why. So here's our little blueberries. They're actually This plant's actually gonna give us a little bit. This little teeny blueberry from a couple years ago is really green, which is good, but it's just like it's like a baby still. These are our honeyberries. These are 4 different varieties of honeyberries. They're doing really good. This is really interesting. Look at these branches here. They're purple, pink and purple. And look at all these honeyberries that I'm gonna harvest today. Yep, yummy. And this one has a couple in there hiding. I forgot last time to show you my chamomile. Might be kind of hard to see with all the weeds, but this is chamomile. You won't believe my row of sunflowers. Look at these. These are, so I come in and when I see that they didn't take, I'll plant more seeds. So that's why there's all kinds of sizes out here. These big ones in the back are the mammoth sunflowers. They're supposed to get very tall and very big. I can't wait for them. So the sunflower row is doing really well. This area kept not coming up right, but I keep trying. I'll just plant more seeds there. That's what I did over here. Look, that's coming up. So I think the birds get to them sometimes. And there we go. Hopefully we're gonna have a lot of sunflowers. Okay, so now we're gonna do the berry bushes. I'm gonna start on the left side here. These are all the new ones over here. I'm gonna start all the way on this side. Look how good these took. These are all from our own garden. Norman actually dug them out next to the original plants. These are the fall gold raspberries. They're my favorite. I think they're Norman's favorite too. They literally aren't tart at all. They're just sweet. And I love that. So these are the fall gold raspberries. This row are the red raspberries. Again, these were pulled from around our red raspberry bushes so that we didn't have to go buy new bushes. All these came from our own garden, which is really cool. And look how good they're doing. It's amazing. You may wonder what this white dirt is that's in some of the areas. That is a bunch of goat poop compost that Norman did to smother out some weeds, but to also, you know, enrich our soil. In this third row, as I told you guys before, we struggle with our blueberries. And look, these blueberries we planted at the same time as the raspberries over there, and they just struggle. They're just tiny and they struggle. These are blueberries, and we didn't even get these from our own blueberry plants because our own blueberry plants don't do good. So we actually bought these new as starts, and they just don't thrive, which is weird because we have berry farms near us, a blueberry farm. So it must be something in our dirt. So that's what's on that side. That's the new side of the garden. And these are the berry bushes that we planted the first year that we were here. As you can see, they're growing like crazy. This first row is all full of the fall gold raspberries. It's all the way down to, I think, right here, which is boysenberries. then down here is Marionberries. No, starting here I think is the Marionberries. Those actually taste very interesting. We got these Marionberries just on a whim, and they turned out really good. And I think Norman's favorite, one of Norman's favorite berries, the Marionberry. They have a very different taste to them. These right here are the red raspberries. These ones I pruned back extremely, and they've taken off. I think we're gonna get, yeah, it looks like we are gonna get berries. So the yellow raspberries, the red raspberries, and the blackberries. These are the blackberries. They're thornless. The only ones that we have terrible thorns are right now are the Marionberries, and they're worth it because they're very good. So these are the blackberries, blackberries, blackberries. You see how this down here, here's a new little shoot of the blackberries here. That's its own plant. We could dig that out and put it anywhere else, and it can grow a whole new blackberry plant. That's what we did over in the new berry area. Here is our aronia berry. It's doing real good. And back here, we call it the jungle, we have 3 elderberries that are taller than me now. One's John variety, one's York variety, and one's Adams. I'm not really sure which is which, but I have it marked down somewhere. And in the midst of all these weeds, we have a little pumpkin plant growing down on the ground here. Here's the white currant that we just planted a couple weeks ago. It's doing fine. These are the currants, the Red Lake currant over here that actually has some red currants on it right now. Norman's been picking them as they grow real dark and tasting them. They're so tiny, so they don't taste like much, but they're tart. And here is the black consort currant right here. Might have to trim it up because it's like kind of growing a little wild there. So this is the berry patch. It's doing really well. So down here is an invasive weed that we're actually going to be working really hard to get rid of. It's related to the morning glory, I understand, and it can take over, as you can see, if you don't get a handle on it. And yeah, this is a new apple tree that we just planted. A Fuji apple, yeah. We actually bought 4 of these from Home Depot. Only 2 of them made it. We need a T-post because it's kind of fallen over. The other one over here is another apple. Same Fuji right here, Fuji. Right there. This is the tree we pulled out, which is sad. I think it was a hazelnut, Norman's favorite nut. But look at these weeds. We have some apple espalier trees that I don't think I really talked about last time, and they did really good last year, but this year it looks like, well, what it is it's like 6 different varieties on one graft, which is amazing that you can have all different kinds of apples. Here's Red Delicious, which died off or is not doing good. Brayburn, not doing good. I think the Gala apple on this side's doing good, sort of. But this side, no, not really. And this top one, I can't remember what that one is, but those aren't doing good. So the bottom one is the Red Gravenstein and the Yellow Delicious. Those Actually, it's just the bottom ones that's doing the best. Over in the middle here, all of them look like they're thriving, which is really good. It's kind of hard to see, but except for this one branch right here. That one didn't make it, I don't think. And then here's another example of the varieties and how different they do. You can see this apple tree, espalier apple tree, is also struggling on some of its branches. This side's doing great. These three varieties. We have the Yellow Delicious, and what's this one? Red Gravenstein, and the Gala Apple. So those three on this side doing good. This one on the bottom here is doing good. I don't see where it, I don't have the name of that variety. But this one in the middle, nothing. This one here, the Fuji apple, nothing. So, oh my gosh, looks like a little apple there. We got a little apple. The Josta berries right here, they're doing good. They are on the outside of our garden fence, but the deer are letting them grow, which is cool. These are the cherry trees I told you about last time, and unfortunately we didn't get any cherries. But look at them, they look so healthy. So all I care about is that they come back every year strong, and eventually we'll get cherries, I hope. And this is what we got from the plants today in the garden.